Hey, what is happening? It is Tuesday morning. I'm heading over to Yesterday's Fits to do my weekly bulk buy for my own selling. And Jesse's got a bunch of stuff for me to look through to potentially do some more boxes. So as far as the boxes go, we did our first couple of rounds and started getting feedback. And, you know, a lot of people were happy with what they got. There were a few people that were disappointed, and I took a lot of feedback. And we're going to be doing what we can to make some changes. A couple things. It did end up being a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I had this idea in my head of a system for separating out the different values of stuff, and so everybody would get a good balance in their boxes. And I think that with all the good stuff that we had, even that process, I think it was hard to get an equitable mixture of things for each person. So some people got better boxes than others, and so I've been thinking about like how it could be done better. And for one thing, we're going to be moving towards much more heavier on the vintage side. Ideally, I would want them to be pretty much all vintage, because that's kind of what I specialize in. And if they're going to be boxes I'm putting together, having all vintage, I think, would be preferable. And also, Jesse and Yesterday's Fits, they're now buying specifically for these boxes, so there's a lot more control over what we're bringing in. And so basically, I'm going to go in there today. I'm going to look at what he has. He says he has a bunch of good stuff. I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to see if it's worth putting together more boxes, how many we might be able to get out of it. And I'm going to show a lot more of what's going into the boxes this time around. And I'm also going to be taking more care on each individual box, as opposed to separating all the stuff out and then just randomly filling boxes, because I think that's kind of part of where some of the problem came from. And so, but I'm going to try and see how much of it I can actually show you guys, like what's going into boxes, to make it a little bit more clear and to give people a better idea of what they might be getting if they wanted to order one. Also, we're going to be dropping the price down to $120 per box if we do come up with enough boxes to do it this week. So we will see, but let's go check it out. So I'm just getting started. This is the pile right here of all the stuff that I'm going to be sorting through, and up here I'm literally just getting started. This time I'm pulling out everything that's not vintage. I got a little pile going there. I do have some non-vintage stuff here that I think would be good for future boxes, but we're going to just do vintage right now. But like, we got some Versace jeans, a really cool striped Stussy long sleeve shirt, a new with tags Patagonia, but we're going to save those for a different time. But I'm pulling out anything that's not worth putting in boxes. Like, this is actually a really cool Bears t-shirt, but it's got the armpit staining, and from my own personal experience of trying to clean this stuff up, I have a really hard time getting rid of that. I don't know if anybody, you know, even bleaching it, treating it, I've yet to find a way to get rid of that completely. Sometimes I can get a little lighter, and I'll still sell something like this. But I'm going to try not to include stuff like this in the boxes, unless it's just the most amazing shirt ever, which this is just kind of a basic vintage Bears shirt. Anyway, so I'm still going to go through this. This so far is my pile of keepers. We got a Burberry scarf in there that's really nice, but this is all vintage. I love these Zubaz Raiders pants, which should sell really easily. Now, the elastic on these is pretty much done for, but it really, all it needs, you see it's got the, so you can see there, the two holes. Really all you need is like a white shoelace, hook a safety pin on it, and you can run that through those pants. And I think these would still sell for 40, 50 bucks personally. But that's kind of like what we're working with so far. But I'm literally just getting started. I'm being super selective and really careful going through each of these things, and making sure that we end up with some really good stuff. Got a members only jacket in there, nice white members only jacket. So let's see what else. Also, I was really excited when I first saw this shirt right here. This is a vintage 90s Cincinnati Bengals kind of t-shirt jersey, and then I saw this part right here, you can see, and I realized that this is basically, this is probably dead stock, but what happens, I've talked about this before on our channel, what happens with 90s dead stock, this 100% cotton, when it's dead stock it never gets washed, so it gets set aside, it gets boxed up, somebody never wears it and puts it away. And there's something about the chemicals in the t-shirts from like the 90s, the 100% cotton. The black, I don't know if it's the dye for the black, but if it never gets washed, it actually breaks down the fibers, and that's how you end up getting dry rot. And so you'll see like the white here, I mean, this is totally fine, you can pull on it, nothing happens. But when you get the black material like this, all you have to do is pull on it, and it rips like almost like paper. So that's something you have to look out for. So that pretty much makes this useless. I mean, somebody could probably take this and turn it into like a cool pillow or something like that. Because like I said, the white fabric is in great condition. But yeah, 1994, bummer, total bummer. I just finished sorting through everything, and this time we're doing only vintage, being super, super picky to make sure we get the best boxes out of this. I'll even show you, you can see those bins over there, these two bins right here, that's all stuff that I rejected because it's either not vintage, not good enough, conditions not good enough, all that stuff rejected. That little box right there, bin, is actually all stuff that's non-vintage, but I think it's worth a piece here or there being put into boxes in the future because there's some really cool stuff in there. But this time we're sticking to just vintage stuff, and I think there's a lot of really good pieces, and we'll go into showing more of what those are in a minute. I also am buying a few things for myself with my normal bulk buy, but it's like this Stussy. I had set it aside because it's not vintage, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it myself because this is like a really cool long sleeve stripe. But some of these I went ahead and I'm gonna get myself because I didn't feel comfortable putting them in the boxes for condition issues. And here's the thing, guys. Yeah, I've said this before, I buy a lot of stuff that's got issues, it's got staining or needs to be depilled and stuff like that, and some people are just less comfortable with that. Personally, I don't think it's an issue if I know I can get it out. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you a few pieces here, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to treat these and wash them and see what happens, and then follow up like probably on our Sunday haul show. But for instance, you can see these stains right here, these dark stains. All of those I should be able to get out with this mix that I use of LA's Totally Awesome base cleaner powder stuff. I mix it with Dawn dish soap. That's really good for grease. And a little bit of water to make kind of a paste, and scrub it in there with a toothbrush. I think I'll be able to get those stains out, and I actually think this is a really cool hoodie, Phoenix Suns hoodie, and I'm thinking I can probably get minimum $50 for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that with this piece, and I'm going to follow up on our regular show, and we'll see what happens. But there's stuff like that. There's this Green Bay Packers sweatshirt that is like maximum pillage going on, and so I just decided it was a little too much to go in a box. But I'm actually going to get it myself because once I use a sweater shaver on this and wash it, this is going to be in really good condition. It's going to look like a totally different sweatshirt, and then I'll end up being able to sell it probably for like 35, 40 bucks. And it really doesn't take that long. Like, I have a whole process where when I'm processing all of the stuff I buy in a week, where I'm able to go through and do the stuff. So to me, it's not like a waste of time. This is just like a super faded Chicago t-shirt that I think is really cool. I think that, you know, faded stuff sells really well. Now this is probably one of the really crazy pieces, but it does have like a big yellow stain in the middle of it, okay? This is a 1994 Tour of the World figure skating t-shirt. And so I'm actually going to take this home and bleach that, and I'm going to show that you know, when you come across items like this that might have some issues, some stains, if you can get it out. I mean, this t-shirt right here, I'm pretty much going to guarantee you that I can sell this for at least $100 because it's a really cool all over print figure skating t-shirt. You're not going to find this most places. This is definitely a hard to find piece, but some people would look at this and say, oh, it's got a big yellow stain in the middle of it. Why would I want this piece of crap? So we'll just follow up with you on that later. The mayhem continues. We've got enough to do 10 really good boxes, 10 pieces each, all vintage. Not everything here is for the boxes, but I know what these piles are. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through and show you the contents. These are all, I randomly distributed them while looking at like everybody gets at least one jacket, just kind of trying to distribute them a little more evenly, but everything's vintage. So I have not looked through this pile specifically myself, I mean, since I laid it out. So I'm not just picking the best one to show you guys, but I'm going to go through and just show you some of what like one box would have. So this is like a Born to Be Wild single stitch motorcycle t-shirt. This is vintage 90s. Sorry, that's not focusing. This is a Marlboro Country t-shirt. It's actually really cool and I sell these all the time. This one should be like a $30 tee. It's got the rodeo cowboy bucking bronco on the back. It's a really cool t-shirt. We've got a 90s Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos sweatshirt. Let's see, we've got a Dale Earnhardt senior t-shirt, Intimidator. I sell these ones usually like around $40. This is vintage 90s. Ooh, this is one I'm super jealous of in this box. This is an 80s Ocean Pacific tank top in excellent condition, made in the US. You can see right there it says 1988. Really, really cool surfer tank top. And we've got San Francisco Giants 1988 t-shirt. It says a little fuzz on it, but it's in really good condition. Single stitch. Really nice t-shirt. We've got a starter baseball jersey, but what's really cool about it is it's actually Chicago Bulls. This is really cool. 90s Chicago Bulls baseball jersey. Let's see, starter 90s starter jersey for, I don't remember what this team is, Avalanches. I don't remember where they're from. And then we have a really cool Olympic USA hockey jersey, 90s, very cool. And last for this box, 90s Tommy, and this is Tommy Jean's racing gears. This is a really cool, kind of a almost vinyl-y mechanics jacket. Pretty awesome. All right, do we want to try one more box? Okay, let's just go ahead and let's grab this one from up here. Pull this one down if I can. Okay, we got a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, 90s t-shirt. I have a really cool Jimmy Buffett 1999 tour t-shirt. 90s James Dean t-shirt. This is a 90s Woody Woodpecker t-shirt. This is a Wilson actually this one might be 80s Wilson sleeveless t-shirt. Then we've got a blank made in Canada vintage 90s hockey jersey. We've got a really cool polo vintage 90s polo Ralph Lauren rayon Hawaiian shirt. This is really nice. And then an 80s Giants t-shirt. You can see right here in really nice condition. And this looks like, well, I was going to say 80s, but 1990. Real Men Wear Red, White, and Blue. This is a really cool Buffalo Bills t-shirt jersey. And then last but not least, a vintage Nike made in the USA. And I believe this is a, yeah, this is a USA. Looks like it might even be almost like a cycling windbreaker. It's a really cool vintage windbreaker. So those are 2 boxes. I didn't pick them out ahead of time. Everything's got a similar mix to that. And then I'll get Jesse up here and we'll show you the bonus t-shirts that we're gonna put in. They're pretty cool, pretty cool. We got all of the boxes filled, ready to be, I guess, repacked. So they actually fit in there and sealed up to send out. We got 10 of them that are gonna go out. And then Jesse's gonna show us, we've got 3 bonus pieces. 3 bangers, as the kids say.
Yup.
So we've got, what we have, the Who.
1981. The Kinks.
Oh, the Kinks, sorry,
Yeah.
I almost said the Who. I'm like a lame old person over here.
They might have stolen
the Kinks.
something right here, but
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really nice one.
96 Foo Fighters.
Okay, Foo Fighters.
Wild Oats tag, so that's a really good band tee tag.
And I think it's single stitch,
yeah,
even.
Or 97.
Yeah, 97 tour t-shirt. And then the last one, this one I'm totally jealous of. The Damned. So this is an 80s single stitch t-shirt, and this is like an old punk band. And let me tell you, last week I was trying to work a deal out with Jesse over here to buy that shirt, and it was too rich for my blood.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
So
and then this week he's like, let's just throw it. He's like, let's throw that as a freebie, and I'm like, okay, thanks, asshole.
Right, exactly. So no, we've seen comps of that shirt listed between 3 and 4, so it's 3 and 400. So
yeah.
It's a good shirt, so.
Yeah, I think it's, it's a small size, and honestly, there's a lot of damn t-shirts out there, and it's hard to tell. The prices are all over the place.
Yeah.
But that one's one of those ones that you're gonna price it high and then like wait a while for the right person to come along.
But don't take low on it, whoever gets it.
Yeah.
It's a good shirt. So.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get these packed up so they'll be ready to go out. And that is all there is to it. So we've got 10 boxes, 10 pieces each. There are 3 boxes that have a bonus piece, so you get 11. $120 plus shipping, all vintage, pretty much all men's. I think there's one box that does have a women's shirt in it, but pretty much all men's, vintage. And each box was packed by me this time, all pieces chosen by me. And I would say, let's say conservatively, double, triple your money. And the link is down below. It's going to go live. Right now it's Thursday night now. It's going to go live tomorrow morning, Friday morning at 10 a.m. Remember, there's just 10 boxes. So they probably will go fast like the rest of them did. But good luck, and let us know, give us feedback. If you do get one of these new boxes, please let us know what you think of what's in them, because we do want to keep improving these boxes and make sure that they are the best that they can be. All right, guys, see you later.